Hey, welcome to my numerology and a little bit about everything video. So, the ancient Greeks, they all studied astrology, astronomy, languages, medical sciences, and also astrology and numerology. So, those were considered exact sciences in the day. However, then there was a little bit of a naughty pope that came along a couple of 100 years ago, and he basically decided that everything that was esoteric or occult, or that you could consider hidden knowledge, was considered unscientific, and only that which could be proven scientifically was allowed to kind of continue as a basis of society. And we saw a similar move by the Rockefellers, who did something very naughty last century in America. They discovered oil, and they discovered that a lot of medicine could be made oil-based, and there were billions to be made. So they set up all these institutions to discredit all the natural holistic healing schools that were there, and basically create the current medical mafia as we know it, the vaccine industry as we know it. So anyway, so back to numerology. So numerology is a very exact science. And if you look at life, everything is based on numbers. Everything has to do with the exactness of numbers. You build a bridge, you build a building. If it's a few millimeters off, it's going to collapse. And so for those who are open to it, it makes a lot of sense. And skeptics are like, well, but how come if I'm born on, February 2nd and he's born on February 2nd, how come we're completely different people? Well, good point. So a lot of other things factor in: genetics, upbringing, your DNA, if you believe in past lives, your past lives, the effect of that, the conditioning you have, and many more things factor in. And then there are all these different systems. There's Western astrology, there's Indian Vedic astrology, there's Tibetan astrology, there's Chinese astrology, there's Maya astrology, and they're all different. And yet they all say a little bit about the magical diamond that you are. So one could say that, in another way, that numerology and astrology say something about the operating system that you have. And if you look at history, all the influential people like Hitler, Roosevelt, Stalin, they all used astrologers. They all consulted astrologers because they know that planets have influence on us, numbers have influence on us. And likewise now, many successful analysts of the financial field, they also use astrology and numerology to determine when they should buy shares and when they should sell and what they should do. So it might have been, something occult or something esoteric, but it's really just very practical. And I love numerology for that reason, because that's even more practical than astrology, because astrology still, there's symbolism involved, whereas in numerology, numbers just have an exact value, and numbers combined have an exact value. And sure, there's a way of interpreting that, but that's not a symbolic interpretation, but it's an actual interpretation. Having said that, how do I determine my numerology? So that's what this course is going to be about. Basically, everything in numerology can be brought down to a number between 1 and 9. Sorry, I don't have a whiteboard here. I'd write it out for you. So you have 9 main numbers, then you have number 10, but everything above 9 gets reduced again to a single digit number. So let's say you're 10, that's a 1 and a 0. So you're a 1. Then you have the numbers 11, 22, 33, 44, and those again, in the case of 33, it's the 6, 36, and so forth and so on. And the numbers 11 and 22 and 33 are called master numbers because apparently they hold more punch, but we'll get to that later. Now, how do you find out, how do I know for myself what my number is? And you can equate your number to your star sign, your sun sign. So if you say, well, I'm Leo, in numerology, you might be a number 5. So that's how you can compare it. But then later on, I might teach you how to make a chart. And when you make your own chart, you see that your whole birthday figures into the chart. So then just like in astrology, you might be a Leo, but you might have many, many other planets in many houses that are very atypical, you wouldn't be very much of a quote-unquote typical Leo. But still, the effects of Leo, for instance, the lessons, to learn, teach that love is ecstasy and learn that love is humility, are central themes which will still play a part in your life. Likewise, if you're 5, the positive and negative aspects of being a 5 are going to be influencing your life. All right. Sorry about the moving camera, but at least this way I have the flowers in the background. And if I put it down, there's the kitchen in the background, so it's not very cool. So there you have it. So how do I determine my number? So you start by adding up your birthday, the month, and the year. Now that goes as follows. So let's say your birthday is on the 2nd of February, 1964. So you add up 2 and 2 is 4. And then the year 19, you add that up as 1, because 1 and 9 is 10, and 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. So you have 2 and 2 is 4, and then you have 1, which is 5, and then you have the 64, which is another 10, which is 1, which is 6. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So your destiny number is 6. Now, you can read up about the destiny number 6 online, and a few, general things are 6 is the number of the home, of love, of family, of friends, of communication, of Venus, and of sacrifice, of helping. So you could say all those things play a part. 6 people are usually real, homebodies, and they, more than other sign numbers, love their family and friends. That's another thing. For the skeptics, they're like, yeah, doesn't everybody like their friends and like to be at home? Yes, that's not the point, dear friends. The point is that you have a very specific numerology, which says a lot about you. Now, this was just a very general thing. You can also determine with that same numerology how somebody is outwardly and how somebody is inwardly. So in the case of this numerology, the 2 and 2 added up the birth date and the month determine how you appear outwardly. So that's the number 4. And how you are on the inside is you take the 1964, which is added up to 2 plus the 2. So then you're also 4 on the inside. Excuse me. So that has a big impact on that 6 and how that 6 energy manifests. All right. That's it for now. If you like this, please subscribe. Please like the video. And I'm going to be continuing this series with an in-depth analysis of all the numbers and all the effects that it has. And this can be great for yourself, but it can also be great when you compare in relationships. I do a lot of couples counseling. And when you explain to couples, like, okay, this is the way, they're wired, this is the way the other person is wired, they're like, oh, wow, okay. So that helps a lot, because finally I understand you, or I get why you do what you do. And we know that changing another person is impossible, though we try. And changing oneself is also hard enough, mission impossible at times. So this numerology can help to really understand, well, who am I and who are you? And, everybody's good the way they are, and we're all great the way we are, and nothing needs to be changed. And self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom, so it can be very helpful. So once again, please hit the like or subscribe button, and I'll be back with you soon with a new video. Have a great day.